Hey guys, this is Shonda. Wow, it has been a long time. I pretty much wanted to just sit down and talk to you guys about what's been going on and just to update you guys on life. Okay, so you know what? Let's just jump right into this. I'm gonna go and rewind back to August of last year, and I'm gonna say if you guys hear like beeping or something, we have something going on outside there. They're working on something, so I apologize about all of that. So I had to get a tooth pulled, went to the dentist. They gave me antibiotics, and I don't remember off the top of my head which ones that they were. So I had to take antibiotics for a week before I could get the tooth pulled because it was infected, and it was like a wisdom tooth way in the back of my mouth. Took the antibiotics, had my tooth pulled. A week later, felt like I was gonna die. I kind of hinted at this a couple times in previous videos about me getting sick, but so this is what happened because I never touched on it. I thought I initially had food poisoning. I've had food poisoning from Taco Hell, aka Taco Bell. Yeah, so thought it was food poisoning, and I was like, all right, it's no point in me going to the doctor because they're not going to do anything but either put me on an IV or tell me to stay hydrated, whatever. So I was like, it generally takes 2 to 3 days, for you to overcome food poisoning. So I was like, I'll wait it out. So day 4 came, and then day 5 came, and day 6 came, and it was just bad. I had symptoms. I had a fever. I had the chills. I had the shakes. I could not keep anything in. And I don't mean puking. And so every time I ate something, it was coming right out. Every time I drank anything, it was coming right out. So I lived in the damn bathroom, y'all. I hate to get nasty with it, but it's what happened. So after about day 9, I think, we're into September at this point. Kids have went back to school and everything. I missed the kids' first day of school because I was pretty much dead. I could not go anywhere. I could not move. I was in so much pain. This was worse than childbirth. Like, the pain was worse, like 100 times worse than childbirth, y'all. So I go to the hospital. I went through the ER. My kids had a doctor's appointment. So we took the kids to the doctor's appointment, dropped them back off at school, and then I went straight to Beaumont. And so I went there, and they misdiagnosed me the first time, which I had no clue of at the first time. I was there for maybe 5 or 6 hours, and they told me, I forgot what the first thing they said. So they gave me some pills to take to try to cure whatever it was that I had, and I just was not getting better. I was actually getting worse. Like, the symptoms were getting worse. At this point, I didn't have a fever, and I didn't have so much of the chills or the shakes or anything, but my thing was I could not eat. Anything I ate came right back out. So I'm pretty much like surviving off of chicken broth at this point, even though I'm really not surviving off of it because when I eat it, it comes back out, but I can't eat anything. So sorry, my hair is a mess, y'all. I just felt like I needed to come make this video, and so it is what it is on what I look like. So after about probably like another 3 weeks of this, I went to the hospital again, and I went through ER. And let me explain to you guys what I mean by the pain. Whenever I ate something or tried to eat something or drank anything, I can actually feel it going down. Going through the intestines is where it got the worst. So just to give you a picture of what it could have possibly felt like, it felt like someone from the depths of hell was taking a fire breathing knife and like just scoring through my digestive tract every time my body attempted to try to digest something. I don't know. It was just bad, y'all. It was bad. And this was like all day, constant, every day. And I'm taking these pills that the doctor gave me. And I'm like, why isn't this getting better? So I went back through emergency at Beaumont because I trust Beaumont. I didn't know at this point that I was misdiagnosed, but I went back in, and they kept me this time. They kept me for a couple days, and so the first time when I went to the hospital, they didn't do a stool sample, which is what they were supposed to do, and so this time they did all the same tests. I had an EKG or ultrasound tests, and then they did the stool sample. And so what it came back as, I had C. diff. And a lot of you may know that work in the medical field or work in like nursing homes and, stuff along those lines, what it is. But for you that don't know, and I was one of those people who didn't know, C. diff is pretty much a bacterial infection in your colon. Is nasty, one of the nastiest shits I've ever had in my life, y'all, for real, like literally. When the doctor came back in the room and told me what it was that I was going through, like she came up in that mug with steel armor on, like covered from head to toe. She's like, oh yeah, it's highly contagious. And I'm like, what? So she comes in the room dressed like a damn armored beekeeper, and she's like, I have to take these. I had like 3 IVs running. I didn't even know I had enough veins in my arm for as many things that they were trying to put in me. And so they pretty much doped me up. I was taking pills and I was taking meds through the IV because I had it for so long. And I guess it was stronger because I had it for so long. At this point, it was a month because I went to the hospital at the very end of September and I got sick at the end of August. And so after they discharged me from the hospital, I had to take, oh my God, I thought I would never forget the name of this drug because it's the worst drug. But I mean, as much as it helped me internally, it made me so sick, y'all. So for about another month, because I had to take, it's October at this time that I'm out of the hospital. I had to take it for 2 weeks. So midway through October, I stopped, but it still was in my system. And I'm kind of one of those people that any adverse effect from medication or any side effect that's listed, I generally tend to get. That's just how my body is. I generally tend to get this or go through those symptoms. And I did. Dizziness, vomiting. Those were the main two. The dizziness and the vomiting, the nausea, all that crap for 3 weeks. Then I started getting better. And so I kind of overworked myself a little bit because I'm like, okay, I'm off the meds. I'm feeling a little bit better. It was still, at this point, it was still kind of nice outside. I've missed the end of summer, the beginning of fall. So I wanted to go out and take a walk. And so I did. I took a walk, went to a store, damn near died in the store, y'all. So I'm in the checkout. Actually, I'm not in the checkout lane. I went to the store to get like some fruit because I was hungry. My body, I had never lost my appetite throughout this whole bout, but I was starving because I couldn't eat. So I go to the store. I'm looking for fruit, trying to get some stuff so I can put in my body, and then I just get like real like lighthead and then darkness. Like I can't see anything. So I'm like, whoa. So I go to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, oh my God, is this shit coming back? Like, for real, is it coming back? Because I had to go again. I had to use the bathroom at this point. And so I'm in there, and I'm like, I can't see anything. I'm like dizzy, and I I'm sweating like crazy, like pouring sweat, y'all. Like I can't, like fucking waterfalls coming out of my hairline and stuff. I At this point I hadn't paid for my stuff, but I'm like I have to get something in my body, so I'm eating a banana. I ate half of the banana. I I guess regain consciousness. I don't know. I get a little bit of energy. I drank. I think I had some Gatorade or something. Something like Gatorade or Powerade or something, and I drank like a whole one. I get up and I was like, all right, I need to get out of here. I need to get home. So, store's not far from my apartment. So I was like, okay, let me go pay for this stuff and get out of here. Walk around the corner and go home. So I get to the checkout lane. It's of course a million people in the checkout lane. So I get up to the plate or the cashier and I'm checking out and I'm like, uh-oh. So I'm feeling it again. I can feel myself like hyperventilating and I almost black out. I'm like, the cashier's trying to talk to me. I'm like, I'm not trying to be rude, but can you just please hurry up because I have to get out of here. And she's like, okay. She's trying to rush. And so I pay for the stuff and I dart to the bathroom because I can feel my body going through this all over again. Get to the restroom. I didn't have to use the bathroom at this point, but I'm just like feeling like, okay, I'm literally about to die. I blacked out again. I'm sweating like crazy. I can't move. I'm trying to eat the rest of my banana. And so I called my husband. He's at work, and the type of work that he does, he can't really answer the phone as quick. But I called him like 3 times, and I couldn't get a hold of him. So I called one of my friends, and I'm like, I need you to come and get me from the store because I think I'm about to die. Like, and it just, in my mind, that was it. In my mind, it was no, like, oh, maybe I'm just not feeling well. No, in my mind, if I had stayed in that store, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. And this is my thought process at this moment. So, she comes to pick me up because we live in the same building. So it's not far, of course. She comes to pick me up. I get home. At this point, my husband had called me a million times. He's like, oh my God, something's wrong. And I'm sorry to have this go so long. I'm sorry. So I get home, they take care of me, and then I get cussed out by everybody. Why'd you go to the store? You know, you blah, blah, blah. And I'm not thinking, y'all. I'm like, I just need to get out of this house because I'm going like batshit crazy. I need some fresh air. I need some sunlight, you know. And I'm like, I need to get out. And it's like, I understand that, but I'm like, I'm literally jello at this point. My body has no muscle mass because I haven't really taken in any food, like no food, no proteins, no anything. I've been surviving off of chicken broth, y'all. And this is still after the meds are gone. I'm still like, I'm trying to eat fruit. I'm trying to figure out what it is that I can eat. So I had to sit my ass down, and I had another follow-up with the doctor, I think a week later. And at this point, I'm gradually getting better. Like, not stronger, but better. I was really weak. I had braids in my hair. I don't know if y'all remember the braid video I did last year, but I still had those braids in my hair. Took my hair down. Half my hair fell out from the sickness and from the medication. And it was just bad. It was just all bad. And so I finally got better around the end of October, early November. I had a scare at the beginning of the year, but it wasn't anything that I wasn't aware of. So I went to the doctor immediately. They were just like, here, they didn't give me any more medication. They gave me a diet that I had to stick to. And I did. And so I'm okay. It's April now, and I'm okay. I lost like almost 30 pounds at that point. So that was the reason for the sudden weight loss that you guys seen. But trust me, I'm almost back to where I was. I need to gain about 5 more pounds and stay there steadily. That was that. And then after that happens, then the next chapter of my life, another big wow moment happens. This video is going to be very long, and I'm sorry. So while I'm like getting better, recuperating from all of this craziness, for those of you that's been with me for a while, like for a long time, you guys know that my mother and I didn't really have a really good relationship, right? So I don't even know if I still have that video up from my rant that I had about my mom. If I do, I'll link it below. If I don't, I'm not going to get back into it. But we'll just keep it as we didn't have a really good relationship. So in October, my mother resurfaced after about 10, 12 years of no one knowing where she was. At least I didn't. My brothers didn't. She resurfaced. At this point, she's sick. She's living with my grandmother, right? And so they call me, yeah, Shonda, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. So I go over to my grandmother's house. It was hard. It was extremely emotional. And she's sick, and she looks sick. So my grandmother had already set up the appointment for her to go visit the doctors. And so she goes to the doctors. She has all the tests and everything done. She has cancer. Yeah. So after, I didn't know which stage it was until a little bit later on, but she attempted to do chemotherapy and it didn't work. And the crazy thing about this is that as I was like getting better from my C. diff bout, she was entering her C. diff bout because of the chemo. The chemo had fucked up her system and she was susceptible, and it happens mainly in hospitals anyway, so it wasn't a surprise, but it's just it was like, wow, it was real ironic. It was just coincidental even, maybe. So she went through her chemo and everything, and that didn't work. She was admitted into the hospital, and she was in the hospital for a while. After the new year, I think it was like maybe January or February. Nope, I think it was in January. And so in February, they released her and said it wasn't nothing that they could do. She was at stage 4 cancer at this point. And on March 5th, she passed away. And as much as I had told myself over the years, just from being angry, that I wasn't going to care, I did. It was my mom, That was the second bomb dropped. And I could handle, I guess, the emotion from being sick. I survived it. I overcame it. I got better. I'm definitely am very much more conscious of what I put in my body. Now, the reason I got sick was from the antibiotics that I took. It ate all the good shit out of my stomach and allowed the bad stuff to overtake it, and that's how I got sick. She didn't overcome this, and she's no longer here. Now, like I said, as much as I wanted to just be like, well, whatever, I haven't seen her since my dad passed away, which was when I was pregnant with Karis, and Karis is now 9. So I hadn't seen her since the year prior to that, so it happened, and it had been about 10 years. And so I had already put in my head that I could probably be okay the rest of my life not seeing her, but then she pops up, and I just been through a lot of shit these last 7-8 months, and it's been really hard. It's been real emotional, but my family, not only my husband and my kids, but my aunts and my grandmothers and my cousins and everybody, like, I don't know if I would have been able to get through this without them. My brothers. It was just really, really hard. I just really needed to get on here and not only update you guys on why I've been missing, but, I think it's just more a little bit of like therapy for me as well, I guess. I've had so many people around me lately, and I love it. I love my family to death, but sometimes it's just kind of like I need to sit down and just kind of think about shit on my own and just try to like cipher through stuff. And then, with her funeral services, it was kind of like one of those kind of long and drawn out processes because we didn't have it immediately after she passed. It was like from the time she passed away to the day of her funeral was exactly 2 weeks. And that was because we needed to allow time for family to come in and just get everything else situated. So it was a really, really long, hard 2 weeks, And when the days leading up to her funeral, I was just like, oh gosh. And I was being selfish, but I was like, I'll just really be glad when this is over type situation. Because I don't know, but then after it was over, I was still left with like, now what, there was a lot of unanswered questions. And I always just was like, when I first saw her, the first day that I saw her, I really wanted to dive into those questions, but it just wasn't the time. And so I was like, okay, she's gonna get through this, and then we're gonna have this talk. I don't care if you want to hear anything that I have to say. I don't care if you don't want to answer any of the questions that I have, but we're gonna have this talk no matter what direction the conversation goes. And I didn't have that opportunity to. So incomplete. It's just so incomplete, But I'm gonna stop rambling now. I thank y'all for at least watching this video. If you made it all the way through, I do thank you for just listening to me vent. And I'm hoping that I wrote a letter. I didn't want to talk at her funeral. I didn't. I wrote her a letter and I enclosed it in her casket. She actually had a funeral service, even though she was cremated. She actually had a funeral service. But I put it in her casket to be cremated with her. So I may not have those questions. I may always have those questions. But I have to find some kind of way to be okay with this, It'll happen. I don't know. I don't want to go talk to a counselor. If that was something that was going to happen, that should have happened years ago. Like, honestly, I don't feel as if I need to talk to anyone. I try to be the best mom that I can possibly be. I try my best because I don't want my kids to go through what I went through growing up with my mom. I don't ever want them to feel like I'm not there for them. I really didn't think this video was going to be this hard to make. It's been over a month, But I'm going to stop because I don't want to cry anymore. I have to go get my nails done. And I want to go work out. I don't have to work today. And I just haven't really been having too much me time. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get my nails done. I'm going to go to the gym. I have to go and do a couple more things with her insurance papers. And I'm going to try to enjoy the rest of my day. So thank you guys, and I will be seeing you soon.